Do this with your partner. Try a couple where the backpack is in its natural position. So I want you to get used to what can I do, how quickly can I bring this to the fore and use it from where it naturally is. So if I haven't spotted shit's kicking off, I still need to be able to respond with a defensive tool. Yeah? So a couple of the drills, make sure you do it from 1 and 2 shoulders, whatever you normally carry backpack like. That's important. You need to go, oh shit, it's going on, I need to be able to deploy this object. Yeah? Secondly, if you've just about had a good enough awareness to spot it's kicking off, or it might kick off, or people looking a bit suspect, it's just about repositioning your back. So it's, I've shaved off half a second to a second, and walking past that dodgy group of lads, just having it fucking here. Just having it here, as opposed to here, means I can go immediately defensive and viable. I can be on target, I can be strong, I can be robust. But I want you to practice both areas. So, having it slung, and being relatively unaware, but I also want you to start to build into your drills how much faster it is if you've thought about it. I'm walking past that dodgy group of lads, just got off the train, they're a bit suspect. How about I just have it here as opposed to here? It's not rocket science, but it might be the thing that keeps you alive a bit longer. And if they're really tall, then you might just take it. Yeah, that's another just funny little thing, that if you're mugging me and it's round my back, I've got a fucking tit around doing this. You might decide now, seeing your face, you're going to shank me up. If it's here, I'm smart and you've got to give it to me, and you're thinking it's a relatively common resource mugging. Yeah, simple little things like that, but it makes a lot of sense. So we're going to look at some of the ways we can do this. So one of the first things to think about is the tensile nature of fabric. Okay, in that it works best when we take away the slack, but it's exhausting and impractical to have it remain like so. So when we're looking at shanks coming in, we need to make sure that we're taking out the slack on the fabric and that we are driving towards him. We want to immerse that blade entirely in that backpack if we can. So we take the pressure out by having no slack. So we are out and then we're on. At this juncture, it makes a lot of sense to start to abandon this and move into our wraps, because these will be relatively slippy. You don't know what's in there, laptops in there. Its job mainly is to survive the first repeated flurry of stabs. So getting used to, if I'm going to get stabbed without an attachment, get used to move, get used to moving and getting the strongest aspect out of your material with this. Yeah? And if it's coming towards my torso, I want to get the torso out the fucking way. I want to get the groin out the way. If it's coming off the high line, I need to be able to punch at where this is. If I don't have, look at this. This is a foam knife. This is an empty backpack. If I don't add tension to it, danger. Yeah? If I add tension to it, it's not going anywhere. So that's the big difference between tension and slack. So when you're thinking of a defensive object that's fabric orientated or predominantly fabric, that tension really matters. Driving into him matters. I can't backpedal and defend. I cannot stop that blade moving backwards. I can't. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. I've got to bring myself to it. Does that make sense? So the tips are, remove the slack. So make it hard. Drive into that tool. Once you've got that, if you've got relatively good penetration of your footwork, that's what will help you get shit like this. Yeah? Without being too technique orientated, because my foot was here, getting this was easier. My footwork remains parallel. No fucking way am I getting that arm before he's pulled that back and stabbed me. Does that make sense? So you must think like a boxer, like a wrestler. That penetrative step is important. So we're taking out the slack, we're stopping it, and then we get into this wrap. I don't want to go into too much detail on this for now, because we've got a big section of it when we're looking at predominantly empty hand. But I want you to get used to using the tensile nature of the fabric, stopping the blade coming forward, and having enough forward projecting footwork that you can get a 2-on-1 on the arm. Okay? let's just practice that little drill for now. Go.